Last night, thousands of people slept outside camping in the forest, and a lot of them were watched. A predator saw them, walked near them, close enough to take a bite, and then it just decided to leave. The wild part isn't even that you survived, it's that the predator saw you sleeping all defenseless and just decided that you aren't worth the trouble. Other YouTubers have their own clickbait answer as to why this happens. You've probably seen it already. Every video claims that they fear you. They fear the mighty human, top of the food chain. They take one quick look and tremble. And that's mostly nonsense. Just think about it. No 600-pound bear is scared of sleeping humans. That bear could end you even before you finished your nightmare about losing your toenail. So yeah, the answer clearly isn't fear, and the real answer is honestly even more weird. Because the predator's problem isn't that it's scared of you. It's actually that it just doesn't have any idea what you are. But if we want to understand why this happens, we have to go inside the hunter's head. So let's start talking about how predators decide what counts as food. Spoiler, you don't make the list. Predators don't hunt by looking around and thinking, oh, look, calories. Predators have this thing that scientists call a search image. In simple terms, it's basically a wanted poster of what prey looks like, moves like, and smells like. Wolf's wanted poster has deer. A cougar has small, fast-moving thing. Predators are constantly scanning the world around them, thinking, does this match the poster? Match equals food. No match equals ignore and move on. And here's the problem. Sleeping human. You match nothing. First, let's talk about the key thing that predators check. Movement. Almost every hunt on this planet is triggered by motion. Something darts, something flees, the chase instinct fires, it's automatic. A good example for this is a cat when it sees a laser. The laser moves and the cat loses its mind over it. But a sleeping human doesn't flee. It doesn't dart anywhere. It just lies there, breathing almost silently, doing the one thing prey doesn't do often, absolutely nothing. And a still silent lump doesn't fire the chase trigger. You're not moving enough to flip the chase switch in the predator's mind. Then we have shape. Predators learn the silhouettes of their prey over a lifetime. The prey the predator thinks about usually has 4 legs, is a certain size, has fur, looks a certain way. To them, you're just weird. You don't have 4 legs, you are too big, you don't have fur, and you look nothing like what predators are looking for. You are a horizontal lump wrapped in blue nylon, and when you stand up, you become even weirder to them. You're tall, you're vertical, and very few animals on this spinning ball are like that. Only few animals stand upright, and to a predator that reads less like lunch and more like unknown large object, possibly troublesome. And then there's the smell. This might just be the worst part of humans that predators notice when looking for prey. You smell nothing like prey. You smell like campfire, soap, bug spray, tent, and that weird granola bar you brought. All the things that prey don't smell like. To a wild predator that's closer to the thing that comes right before something bad happens than a prey. Smoke means fire that can burn you alive. Chemicals smell like those 2-legged dangerous things. To them, your weird human stink is just a big warning label. So let's put it all together. You don't move like food, you don't look like food, you don't smell like food, you don't sound like food. You don't match anything on the predator's wanted poster. To this animal, you're totally unknown, and to an animal, unknown is dangerous. A wild predator survives by being careful. Attacking things you can't even identify is a wonderful way to get the hoof to the face, or worse, and it can't afford any kind of injury. So when a predator can't identify something, the instinct won't say attack, instead it says stay away. That instinct is the most ancient survival rule there is. If you don't know what it is, leave it alone. And that is the strange truth. The fact that you're safe doesn't mean that you're powerful. It means that you are a walking mystery. To the predator watching you from the dark, you're not a meal and you're not a monster. You're a big question with no answers. So that's the comforting version. Pure confusion is protecting you. Sleep easy, right? Well, here's the part nobody puts in the thumbnail. Because of that protection, it's no force field, it's a default setting, and there are few specific moments where it switches off completely and then nothing is protecting you. The "to them you are a mystery" rule only works until you do something that suddenly does match the wanted poster. The fastest way to do that is the worst instinct you have for a predator. The second you start running, you stop being a mystery and become fleeing prey. You just filled in the blank. That chase trigger we talked about, it fires instantly. This is the reason why every survival guide tells you to not run from a predator. Running doesn't make you escape. It makes you the predator's vision of its next meal. You literally hand the animal the answer to the question it couldn't solve. Crouching can do it as well. There are real cases of tigers attacking people who are bent over, gathering firewood, or cutting grass. After crouching down, a human suddenly fits the size and shape of normal prey. You change your silhouette, you change your category. In just one moment, you go from being unknown to being the next meal. Then there's the worst mistake you can make: surprising a predator. Walk up on a sleeping predator, or worse, get between a mother and her young. In those cases, the question stops being, "What is this?" and becomes, "Now this is a threat." It doesn't need to categorize you as a food to be able to hurt you. If it's afraid, it will attack because it sees you as a threat and needs to get rid of that threat. And then there's this rare case, the one that turns the whole video on its head, because sometimes there's a predator that has solved this mystery around humans. An old one, a sick one, a starving one, too weak to chase deer and desperate enough to try anything. Or one that has learned slowly over time that the strange two-legged beings aren't a mystery at all, just different from other animals. These predators are the man-eaters. To them, you were always the answer to the question. In parts of the forests of South Asia, there are predators that don't hesitate at all. To them, the protection that keeps the rest of us safe just doesn't exist. They know what you are. To them, you are an easy prey. But here's the thing, those cases are still rare. The overwhelming majority of the time, you are still protected by the fact that most predators can't identify you. They still are confused by you standing upright, you smelling weird, your shape. Maybe that's the weird gift that evolution gave us. Not claws, not fangs, not wings. Just the power of being unlike anything else in nature and making animals confused by seeing you. So next time you're outside sleeping under the stars and something is watching you from the dark, don't panic. You're not prey. You're the hardest puzzle it will ever try to solve and most likely never will succeed in doing that. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to continue your training. Each video sharpens what you know. I'm on a quest to gather 10,000 apprentices. Tell me in the comments what I should explore next. The best idea becomes a video. See you next time.